Hey folks, welcome back. Let's say your art teacher gives you a drawing assignment where you have to uh, draw something based on a prompt. And let's say the prompt is a brick wall. How do you handle that? Do you just draw the wall? What do you do? Do you look at references? Do you just draw an actual brick wall and nothing else? In this video, we'll take a look at a few ways that you can think about this. And hopefully it'll help you if you're trying to draw another prompt, right? So the way I would look at this is I'm always thinking about a story. So if I were to draw a brick wall, I think that the side of the wall would be far more interesting than just looking at the wall straight on. Not that that couldn't work either, but I'm more inclined to trying to find a way to create some dynamic perspective. So I'll start off by just roughly sketching out a wall. When I'm drawing the actual bricks, I don't have to draw every single brick, although I could. But one way that I think might be helpful to think about it is let's first of all divide this into sections. I'm finding the midpoint for this first segment, the midpoint for the second segment, and I'm simply going to keep repeating that process of finding midpoints to where I get enough of an idea of like where the bricks are going to go. So this helps me with regards to placing the bricks. And I'm not being super precise in terms of using a ruler for this, by the way. Same thing on this side over here. If this is part of our brick wall, find the midpoint between this segment here and this segment over here, and rinse and repeat. And now what we can do is on a new layer, we can begin to formalize what we've drawn here. We'll start off with the ledge. I'm holding down the shift key to draw straight lines. For these diagonal lines, if I'm trying to be precise, I just draw on a separate layer, move the pivot, rotate, and basically reposition that. Get rid of the excess. And then merge those layers together. And then I can use the lines here to begin this idea of establishing the pattern for the bricks. I don't have to draw every single brick. I'm leaving a few extra spaces for grout. Then I can hide the under drawing. I think one thing that you can do to finish this out is to go ahead and just draw some texture. I'll include some hatching. And what this does is it gives the brick wall a little bit of a sense of value. I could leave it like this, but I think it's going to be far more interesting if I actually incorporate foreground, midground, and background elements. So let's consider giving a sense of environment. So just by putting a few blades of grass, we're automatically inferring some type of environment. I'll draw a bush. And notice that the lines are getting closer to each other, and it's giving this idea that we're getting some value variation. We've got the bush looking very light, and as I start to add more lines in, this edge looks a little bit darker. And then what else can we add into the scene? Well, we could put something interesting. We could put um, some type of object. I'll put some kind of a jug or a pitcher. I'll fill it with some liquid. When I work on these prompts, I'm always trying to add some kind of a story element. So who left the jug here? What's that all about? I might include some type of signage. I'll put this on its own layer. Trim off the excess here. Let me just move this to where it's not creating a tangent. Got a free lemonade sign. We'll have some cups. Maybe one cup has been knocked over. So just like that, we created something that has some interesting narrative elements. I can merge these layers together. And to finish this out, what I can do is I can think about adding a character. Now I can draw a character into the scene, or I can infer that character by way of a shadow. So I think I'm going to do the latter. So I'll just create a shadow of somebody in a top hat. And I'll have that shadow somewhat extend. I'll fill that in. I'll drop the opacity. And so now I have a sense of space. There's some foreground, midground, background elements. We have some kind of a storytelling exercise here. If I wanted to, I can just throw some kind of a tree. We'll go ahead and add some darker values underneath the canopy. Create some grain. Add some other vegetation surrounding it. Include some hatching. Now we've got this really interesting setup. So that's just one possibility. But the idea is that I think about environment, I think about narrative, and it doesn't have to be super dramatic. It's just something that is going to invite some curiosity. If you can answer the questions who, what, where, when, and why, um, when you're working on your drawing prompt, I think you'll have better results. It's certainly a lot better than just drawing just a plain brick wall floating in a amorphous background. Here, at least, we have something that tells a little bit of a story, even though it's a simple one. So anyway, I hope you found this to be helpful. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.